is actually just a partially digested chalupa.
And light my butt on fire?
A much less clever Curb Your Enthusiasm.
You taste Italian. I mean, I know it's got that weird song about the horse on it, but come on, like...
I got your DNA now.
Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
Who's ready for 60 minutes of possible silence?
I mean, that sounds like a pretty good podcast, actually.
You think so? I mean, we could do that. We could just release, white noise, 60 minutes. But then I feel like the Calm app has really got the corner on that market.
Yeah, the Calm. So I don't know how much you've ever used the Calm app.
Fair amount. Not for myself, mostly for my kid, but yeah.
Right. So it has a variety of different background sounds, right?
Yes.
But there's like 4 of them that just are not a background sound.
What are they?
Well, it's supposed to be like, you're outside in a meadow or something, but like it's no real sound.
Oh,
it's
right.
just there.
Yeah.
Like you have the rain. The rain makes sound. There's one that's space.
Oh, I haven't explored these. There's a space one?
I mean, it looks like it's supposed to be space.
Okay.
It sounds like it's supposed to be space.
Yeah, but there's no sound in space.
That's why it sounds like it's supposed to be space.
So you don't hear anything?
It makes no sound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. That yeah.
I guess that's for the hardcore meditators.
Yeah.
They're like, I want to sit in complete silence. I want nothing.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Sometimes the white noise covers up the other sounds that might be distracting, thereby.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, not to get too into this, but in the meditation world,
yeah,
I appreciate noises because I can focus on different things in the noise.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That helps with the concentration.
Sure. Have you kept up your meditating through the shutdown?
Not as much as I need to.
Yeah.
But I have, like the last few days I have.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I
did a nice 20-minute one the other night.
Yeah, you did. That's awesome.
That's a long time.
Yeah. That's 20 is a chunk.
Oh, man. It's I don't know that I recommend that. I mean, the experts probably recommend it, but I don't know that I do.
Yeah. Did you start to freak out a little bit at some point? Like, when is this going to end?
Not freak out, but there is a point where you're just kind of like, boy, this is still going, isn't it?
I've been doing this for a while. Yeah.
Am I relaxed yet? I feel like I should be relaxed by now.
That's when you know you're out of it completely. That's when you have to refocus your mind. If you're asking yourself the question, right?
Right. If you need reassurance that you're relaxed.
I haven't kept up with my meditation too good during the pandemic. I was going pretty.
Not the perfect time to do it.
No, it's not.
You can't do anything else.
Well, right. Yeah, true.
What else are you doing?
I mean, to be fair, I always used to do it at work, and the relative quiet that there is at work compared to home, is, well, it's not even comparable. It's a lot quieter at work.
Well, here's what I'm going to recommend for you.
Okay.
To get your meditation time in, I recommend you start having quote unquote irritable bowel syndrome.
Okay.
And just start locking yourself in the bathroom for like 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah, welcome to Sushi Jackknife, everybody.
Hey,
that sounds like
Justin's bowels are irritable.
Yeah, that sounds like a typical Sushi Jackknife conversation. Somehow we went from meditation to my asshole being on fire.
Well, no, quote unquote on fire.
I don't really have
It's not.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be on fire.
Have you ever?
I mean, if you want to go the extra mile,
and light my butt on fire?
yeah. I mean, if you really want to make it realistic, you can. I don't know. Go do something. Go eat a bunch of Popeyes or something.
Oh, that would do it.
And then you'll be in the bathroom for a while.
That would irritate any bowel.
Yeah. What I'm recommending is, well, I think most people call it lying.
Okay.
If you want to lie and say, "Oh, I got the poops," then you can lock yourself in the bathroom and meditate in peace, because everyone's going to go, "Oh, Justin's in there. He got the poops."
We
can't go in there right now.
We're not going in there for our own
No.
safety. Yeah.
It's going to be bad because I mean, I don't know if you heard, he got the poops.
Our own
Got the poops real bad.
mental security. Yeah, he seems to get the poops every day for about 20 minutes, right around 2 o'clock.
Roughly the same time.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
It's weird. He has explosive diarrhea, but it's incredibly regular.
Yeah, and he comes out and he just looks so refreshed. I really, what is his secret? It's a cleanse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
I have had friends that would recommend eat shitty food as a cleanse, like eat enough bad food so that your bowel gets really pissed off.
The Taco Bell cleanse.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, the Taco Bell cleanse. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. I mean,
No, I would agree with that. That seems like a bad way to do it.
yeah, I can't imagine that being the way to
Yeah,
go.
I'm no nutritionist. I don't know.
I always think
Maybe
about
it's a great idea.
fast food. When I think about fast food, I think about like just some part of it every time I eat it getting lodged somewhere inside me, you know? And
That sounds like science.
yeah, growing a personality, becoming, a world leader.
That's how Trump got into power.
Yeah, turns out he just grew inside someone's, lower bowel for about 30 years.
Yeah,
Yep.
Donald Trump. I don't know if everyone knows this, and we can start this as another conspiracy theory if we need to.
Oh, I like the idea.
Is actually just a partially digested chalupa.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Partially digested chalupa.
Yeah, just halfway.
Yeah. I mean, that's why his skin is so bumpy and lumpy.
It's why he looks the way he looks.
Fried. He looks fried.
He does look fried. If there's a human being who looks like the epitome of a fried shell filled with meat and cheese.
Loose meat.
Yeah. Very loose. From questionable origins.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The chalupa is one of the ones where it's really a stretch. Because if you order a chalupa at a real Mexican restaurant, or even like a not real, like a Tex-Mex Mexican restaurant or whatever,
Yeah.
like that's not what it is. It's like flat. It's like a shell with like a bunch of lettuce. It's like an open-faced taco kind of situation. It has nothing to do with like this like doughy fried shell thing that they came
Taco
up
Bell
with.
does what they want to do.
I know. They are delicious.
They don't have to follow anybody's rules.
Is Taco Bell all cultural appropriation then? Is that how that works?
No, I don't think it's cultural appropriation at all, because I don't think anyone would eat that and go, "Oh, this is Mexican."
Right? Too true.
No one is confusing that with actual Mexican food.
I love it. I don't know if it's a problem, but I've been digging these little pork buns from Trader Joe's. Trader Ming's, I guess it is. And boy, those are great. They're like little steamable things. I don't know what they are. They're magic.
Trader Joe's, they try too hard.
You think so?
Yeah, they try. every other grocery store in the world has gone, hey, we need these things to be available for people. And Trader Joe's is like, hey, everyone really wants a frozen tikka masala, right? Like, no one was asking for that.
I mean, I bet legitimate business people have had this conversation before, but they're sort of like the Apple of grocery stores. That you don't know you want it until it's there, right? Like,
yeah, but do you only want it because they told you want it?
I mean, maybe. I also just like...
Because that's how
buns.
Apple is.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
Most people who own an Apple product, I'll give them the iPhone. We'll take the iPhone off the table.
Okay.
Most people who own an Apple computer, we'll say that, have legitimately no reason to own an Apple computer.
That's probably true. Yeah.
My wife's grandmother, many moons ago, before she died, had a newish computer. She bought a very nice Apple desktop. She played solitaire. Like, that's what you did with the computer. There's no reason.
No, like she wasn't editing films or anything.
Yeah, no, she wasn't a documentarian. She wasn't.
She wasn't making dope beats on it.
Right. Well, I mean, that might have been happening a little. I mean, I don't know what she did for free time.
Kansas grandma's making trap.
She was super into EDM.
Oh, I like this idea. That's great. She's otherwise a very conservative woman, but God, did she love her bass nectar.
Oh, man. When that bass dropped, she would lose it.
Well,
she'd go crazy.
When it dropped, she would drop.
Yeah, that's the danger of anyone that age being into EDM.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, first off, you're going to mostly be performing for other people your age, most likely. Like, you're a little bit too old to go to the club, so you're probably performing at retirement homes. They can't handle bass drops.
This is a future, you realize that when people our age are the elderly, right? Which, assuming we get there, assuming the world doesn't end.
Yeah.
We're going to be, and it'll seem fine to us, I guess, right? But, to our children and children's children and et cetera, the fact that we all have our antique, like, laptops and we're creating dance music in our assisted living facility.
I'm telling you, if I am in an assisted living facility and they start making me listen to EDM, I'm going to start looking into filing charges of elder abuse.
That's hilarious.
That's not called for. No one needs that.
I also just want to see what happens to everyone's tattoos as they get older. I've had
that thought.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, there's just in general, there are more tattoos now than there used to be on, Americans, I guess. So when we're all aged, it's that butterfly is going to turn into, I don't know, something else entirely.
I'm really interested to see the results of the face tattoos that people are getting.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be really interesting, seeing all of these terrible rappers get older.
Oh, yeah. It's going to look
the thing
really
is,
strange. Yeah.
None of them will be famous anymore,
right.
So I won't see them.
That's true.
But
yeah,
I'd like to see what Tekashi 6ix9ine looks like when he's, 70.
Yeah, that guy. I remember talking about him.
Oh, man, that would be really interesting.
Very tatted up. And doesn't he have, like, rainbow hair or something as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like a lunatic, and he is a lunatic, so I guess it all works out.
How's his career going? I haven't heard about him lately.
I believe he's out of prison.
Oh, that's good.
That's good for him.
That's good. There was definitely this thing for a while, even in the 90s where, I only say rappers because that's the stories that I remember, but it seems like rappers would go to jail and they would figure out how to keep recording albums from jail, like through the phone.
Oh yeah.
Or
Oh,
something. Yeah, which is incredible. Like, what technology to me? Like,
It's I can't remember who it is, but I remember there was someone that was doing like 10 years or something
yeah.
and kept popping up on people's albums.
Featuring, yeah.
Yeah. And like you would listen to it and it's like, oh yeah, no, he's on a phone. Okay.
Like you could tell, you could hear it. Yeah. I mean,
it
would be impossible.
It was recorded over a phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a sound. It's a cool sound.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's always, to the point now in productions, like pop productions, people, you know, call it like the telephone track because it's usually something, you know, they just thin it out a lot. And usually put
drop those highs, drop that bass.
Yeah, put a bunch of effects on it, and there you go. Yeah.
It's I'm trying to remember what the band. I'm saying band. I'm using band loosely.
Sure.
So, if you ever want to see or read about something interesting, look up the I think it was Norwegian black metal. Maybe it was Swedish black metal. Anyway, that scene in the 90s.
Yeah.
A lot of stories involving murder.
Yeah, I have heard about this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one guy who got the maximum sentence in their prison, which is only 25 years, I think.
Wow.
But was somehow allowed to record and had like he has a whole discography of albums he put out while he was in prison.
Wow. That's incredible. And not over the phone, like they did it legit somehow. Wow.
No, he had like a terrible microphone and stuff and recorded these weird lo-fi albums.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
it's a very interesting scene to look into. The music, no thank you. But
it's kind of fascinating though. It's fascinating, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder what caused such a level of intensity in people. I mean, you're talking about murders and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to have an intelligent conversation.
They were very anarchist and anti-religion.
Yeah, okay.
So there was a lot of forming anarchist, anti-religious groups that were doing things like torching old cathedrals and things like that.
Yeah, I remember hearing about some of that, right.
And they, I mean, it's black metal, so they were really into death.
Right.
As just an aesthetic.
In general, yeah. It was. Yeah. It's part of their deal. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of suicide, a lot of murder, a lot of weird stuff.
Oh man. Wow.
That is something someone needs to turn into a TV show.
Oh yeah, that would be a great idea.
That would be a gritty show.
That would be, yeah, like a real, like one of these modern dramas, you know, that are really intense. Yeah. Yeah.
The ones where there's no real hero anywhere in the show.
Everyone on the show is a bad person. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
You just pick the person that you're like, I can deal with how bad they are.
Right. That's really where we are these days, honestly. Like, my God. There are so many shows like that where it's like, none of these people are good. Like, I don't root for any of them. I mean, and I'm not arguing against that. There's a certain amount of like realism involved, I guess, because most people aren't 100% good and redeeming.
I mean, there's only a few of us. We're pretty far to hard to come across.
Everyone tolerates Nathan coming this fall. Mm-hmm. They loved Raymond, they hated Chris, and they tolerate you.
I don't feel like that would be a very good show. A show on my life would be just a lot of, hey, we should go do this.
That's where it starts and stops.
I don't know. A lot of scenes that are like like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but not funny. Just like, nah.
I don't think I want to.
No. a much less clever Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right. So I've been loving my my Scottish sketch show that ran for a couple seasons. I think I've mentioned it a few times now. I've mentioned it to everyone I know practically. It seems to be a thing that's mostly for me because I show it to people and they're like, okay. But it suits me and it got me in the mood. It got me in the mood of thinking about like doing something like that. I don't know. Do you think that would ever be something we could do?
Be Scottish?
No. Like do like sketches, that kind of thing. Not on the podcast, but like in a video format.
Possibly, but I don't know about being Scottish still.
What? You would never be interested in being Scottish?
I'd have to get like a work visa at least or something. It's a whole thing. There's probably a lot of paperwork.
Yeah. Well, so I was really pleased recently because Ancestry.com updated their results or whatever to get more detail. And
hold on. Whoa.
Their tests got better is what they said. They're they can look deeper into the data. I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so it turns out I thought I was almost entirely English and just a scotch Scottish, right? Like that's basically my ancestral makeup. But then they updated and I have like 18% Scottish. So that beats out the Irish in me. So there you go. Not the English. I'm still predominantly from there. But yeah.
Well, would you rather be Irish or Scottish, though?
I don't really have a preference. I'd take either one.
No, but you have to choose.
Guns.
You have an Irish and a Scottish guy that have walked into the basement, guns drawn.
Wow.
And they're both going to simultaneously shoot you if you don't pick which of them you like better.
And the other one's just going to beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I guess Irish is what I would say. I just, they're on their own island.
Yeah.
They have their own kind of independent culture. I mean, Scotland does too, but being attached to the same island as England, surely it's more difficult for them to be independent. They're on the same chunk of land. You know what I mean? Right.
I feel like Scotland is like the English group that was like, we're going to be weird now. And they went off to their own part of the land.
They just like traipsed up there and decided to settle. Yeah. Do their own thing.
And the Irish are like, I'm not messing with any of them.
Yeah. Well, like they're different. They're actually from. I mean, the Scottish are too, right? And the Irish. They're not the same as English, right? They're not.
I mean, technically.
I mean, right? Like they come from a different lineage, is what I'm saying.
Really, how different are any of them?
Well, how different are any of us, really?
Yeah.
We all came from Africa, so there you go.
Yeah, I would like to know if anyone from Ancestry.com has just gotten like a 99 in one area.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's a mutt now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's not bad. It's good.
No, it's fine. It's good for the genes. Yeah, it's good for biodiversity or whatever.
Yeah, but like, no one's like you see people that are like, I'm Irish. You're kind of Irish.
Well, that's true. That's true. Unless you're from there, right? Like, what you really are. If you're from here and you're some large percentage Irish, you're American.
Yeah, I'm Italian. You're Italian-ish.
Yeah, right. You're a little bit, yeah.
You're 53%.
You're flavored. You taste Italian.
It's like when you have orange-flavored beverage instead of orange juice. That's what you are.
Right.
You're Italian-flavored beverage.
In
case you were curious, that tastes like Axe body spray.
I'm a Scottish flavored American, which I guess is. I take it they eat a lot of sausage up there, so I smell like sausage.
They really like sausage in that part of the world.
And I like it too. I love sausage. Delicious.
I mean, I don't dislike sausage. I'm good with sausage. I just I find it strange the people who are like super into sausage.
Okay.
Because it's just kind of like one of those foods. You know, it's there.
It's it can be wonderful. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, it can be fun.
No, it can be great.
Yeah, it can be pretty good.
You're not gonna come over. You've never done one of those
Oh no.
23andMe ancestry things, have you?
I'm not going to pay for that. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Typical Nathan response. I guess the truth is, right, it doesn't really say anything about you as a person. Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't say anything about you as a person, and I just don't care.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I don't care at all.
Okay.
Like when we had to do I think it was junior high, we had to talk about like where our family was from for some project.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I was right. I didn't do that much research because I didn't care. It doesn't matter. I am currently here. I'm not there then, so why would I care?
I mean, I can understand what you're saying. I think, I think some of us are looking for something interesting, to tie into ourselves, right? I mean, I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm like, well,
but what does it provide you?
No, I mean, it's perception. That's all. It's not. It doesn't really make you a different person or anything, right?
Does it make you feel better about yourself to know that you are something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think there's something to that. Like, and you often hear from African Americans, they're like, well, they can only trace their history back so far. Well,
and that right? I get.
Yeah,
I understand. In that situation, wanting to know where you came from because you legitimately
don't know.
For 200 years couldn't find out.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It was just word of mouth. Maybe you got some correct information from someone down the line.
That's true. Yeah. No. That's a totally valid.
So
point.
that I get.
Yeah.
But I mean, I come from white people. It's somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not anything to write home about,
There certainly are a lot of us, let's just say.
Yeah.
The world is chock full of white people.
And I think part of it, too, is anything in that area, I'm so far removed from it at this point.
Yeah.
That's not, to me, that's not a cultural thing for me.
Sure.
Like if I found out I was 95% Irish, I'm not.
Right.
I'm pretty sure on that one. But if I found that out, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm Irish. Huh. Because, I've been here. We've been here for generations upon generations. The whole past you need to be concerned about is here.
At this point. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, like the first couple generations of Americans, I mean, they would know where they came from because they probably immigrated from there, or their, parents or grandparents did directly, right? I mean, that's still true for depending on where you're coming from. Just not for the Caucasians among us. Most of us have been here for a while,
right?
Long enough to wipe out the Native Americans and all that jazz.
I guess the main thing here is, as a white American,
yeah,
any cultural relevance from my ancestry was wiped out long ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter to me.
No, I take your point. I take your point.
I'm not saying it's wrong. It just doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. It's not for you. You don't care. Yeah.
No. Now there's the flip side. I could become one of those crazy people who doesn't want to do it because I'm concerned that they're going to steal my DNA.
Right. As if you don't leave it lying around everywhere all the time.
I have a brother-in-law who expressed that point of view at one point, and I did everything I could to not make this noise.
Did you explain to him that he's shedding like thousands of skin cells a second?
I should have just stuck my hand under his arm and went, I got your DNA now.
I got you.
Guess who's getting cloned?
I got you, fucker.
That's something I'll never quite understand.
Yeah, they're going to put you in a database or something. I mean, they already... Come on.
What are they going to do with it?
Well, yeah. That's a good point. What are they going to do?
If they clone another you, fine. I don't think there's some huge secret government agency that's out there to pin crimes on just random people. So you don't have to worry about that. No, you're not going to get framed for murder.
They're great at pinning them on actual people.
Yeah, if they were going to frame anyone for murder, it would be a high-profile politician.
Right.
Anyone who has watched a dramatic television show knows that.
Coming this fall, we made a clone of you.
What do you think the odds are that Donald Trump has asked his advisors to look into how they could get Joe Biden's DNA to frame him for...
I thought you were going to say looked into being cloned, but there's no doubt in my mind he's looked into that already.
And they went, you're not human enough for that?
I mean, that is what Barron is, but yeah.
You don't have enough DNA for us to handle that. I'm sorry. Just a half-digested chalupa, sir.
Yeah, they do the cloning process, and that's what they get. And they're like, it's even in the Taco Bell wrapper. What?
No, sir, stop eating new you. Ow. Don't do that.
You're loose meat. I think.
Well, there went $500 million.
You might as well finish the you that you dropped on the floor, sir.
Oh, he's licking the sour cream off the wrapper. Oh,
come on, you haven't done that though. I've done that hard.
You don't do it in front of people, though.
Well, no, that's something you do in shame.
Donald Trump would do it up in front of his admirers.
I feel like they just rip the front of his clothing off, like periodically throughout the day, because he just gets shit all over himself. Like he can't help, he can't eat without getting really, really messy.
He's just wearing a series of like 15 tearaway suits.
That's it.
That explains why he looks so bulky all the time. He weighs 220 pounds, right?
Oh, right, yeah. That's
about what his physical said?
Right, yeah. Yeah. And it's the vice president's job to just go around and pick them up so that he doesn't have any leavings,
I would like to know what Mike Pence does during a day.
Not a lot. Can't be a lot, right?
It's gotta be just like he goes to get a new Coke for Donald Trump. Chops up his lines of Adderall or whatever that he's about to snort. Like it's gotta be something like that, right?
Talking about sketches, this would be a good sketch, just a day in the life of Mike Pence.
Oh man.
And he spends half his day just looking at the ceiling, just thinking about how he got to where he is.
He probably spends a lot of time just pensively staring out a window.
Yes.
Just looking and going, I could be out there. Oh, look, the sun. I could be in the sun. Oh. Yeah, I'm coming. I'll bring you the crayons. It's fine.
He's so testy when he wakes up from his nap.
He wakes up from his nap like 8 times a day.
That's right.
Old people nap a lot. He's very old.
You got to do it. It's important.
I don't know if you heard, Donald Trump is extremely old.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very old. He's a little fragile. Like, he's an old, fragile man. I just want this to be out there in the universe, hoping that he hears this.
Yeah.
Because I know it will kill him inside.
What's that word? Virility? I can't.
Yes,
That one? It's down.
Yeah, it's not there.
It's not. He has
it's very low.
Lack of that, yes.
Very low.
What music thing did you want to talk to me about?
Oh, man. I feel like this is a thing that is going to drive you insane.
Okay. Yay!
So you know how Rolling Stone magazine
yes
puts out their top 500 album list?
Sure, yeah.
Of all time,
yeah.
And periodically they update it. So a couple days they updated the top 500 album list again. I want to go through these top 10.
Okay. Of all time.
Of all time.
Okay.
Top 10 albums of all time.
Okay.
So number 1. And
wait, we're starting at 1?
We're going to start at 1.
Okay.
I'm starting at. Do you want me to start at 10? Would it make you feel better if I start at 10?
I don't care. I was just making sure I understood what was happening.
No, we're gonna start at 10. Hold on.
Start at 10.
I was at 1, but now I have to go all the way down to 10. Let me tell you, this is a cumbersome article to get all the way through.
Did you read the whole thing?
Oh no, absolutely.
All right.
I immediately skipped to number 1 because I wanted to know what they said was number 1.
Well, of course.
And then started backtracking from there, and I got to like number 60 something, and went, I don't care anymore. You've already lost me several times on this list, so why do I want to know what you think?
Sure.
Any further than this? I will tell you the top-rated hip-hop album on this list is, and I can't decide whether I have an issue with this or not, is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Okay. No. Yeah. It's great.
Of all time, though?
I mean...
The best.
No.
It's the highest rated.
No, I don't see that. It's up there. It's not the best, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything bad about it. So that's number 10. Is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Top 10 album of all time.
Wow. All right. I'm already a little doubtful, Nathan.
This was my issue. Like, I don't know that I would put it as top 10 hip hop album of all time.
Right.
Let alone top 10 album, regardless of genre, of all time.
I mean, for me, it would make it in probably the top 100. I could see that.
Top 100.
Sure.
Yeah. No issue with that.
No issue.
Okay, number 9. Blood on the Tracks, Bob Dylan.
Okay.
That one's fine.
Fair enough.
I got no issue with that.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is probably his best album. I like the album quite a bit. Number 8 is Purple Rain.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No issue with that.
Prince's Purple Rain, absolutely.
Rumors is number 7.
I mean, I am not a huge Fleetwood Mac person, but I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nevermind.
Okay.
Nevermind is number 6. Nirvana is number 6.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to have a problem with that.
Now, this is where my issue
Nirvana
begins.
Okay. All right. Top 5.
Number 5. Abbey Road.
Okay.
And I will tell you, that's the highest rated Beatles album on this list.
What? Really?
Abbey Road.
Okay, I love
is the
Abbey Road.
highest. Okay, but
But
out of all the Beatles albums,
I mean,
it's not. It's
yeah.
not the best Beatles album.
I mean, everyone would always put Sgt. Pepper's above it, I feel like, in a list like this, right?
They wouldn't.
Well, I guess they wouldn't.
Sgt. Pepper's is. I think it's the third Beatles album on this list.
Oh, wow. What would you say is the best Beatles album?
See, I had this whole conversation when I was reading this list. Because, I mean, the big three are Revolver, Rubber Soul, Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah. I mean, I would put Abbey Road right up in there, too, though, honestly, for me.
I don't put it in the same... It's a step below.
Okay.
Nothing against Abbey Road. Abbey Road's not the White Album, which is a wildly overrated album.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, there are definitely songs that I love that are on the White Album, but as a whole, it's a really weird record.
It's not great.
It's very inconsistent, the White Album.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you have to put Sgt. Pepper's as their highest one.
I do too.
If not for music, for the cultural significance.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's not. Okay.
Oh man.
Number 4, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life.
No.
It's number 4.
No.
The 4th greatest album that has ever been produced in any genre of music.
I can't. You know, I'm going to be really honest here. I like plenty Stevie Wonder songs, but I'm not like the biggest Stevie Wonder fan ever. I'm just not.
No, me neither.
And so, and I have that record, and I've listened to that record, and I don't get that. I don't get that as the 4th greatest album of all time.
Of all time?
I don't get that. No.
Number 3, Joni Mitchell, Blue.
What? Really?
Yeah, number 3.
I mean, I've heard that record.
The 3rd greatest album of all time.
I've heard that record, but I don't remember that record. I'm sure it's great. But the 3rd greatest album of all time?
It's the 3rd greatest of all time.
I don't know.
If you've heard it, you know that.
Okay, what's 2?
Pet Sounds.
Okay, Pet Sounds I'm good with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, I think Pet Sounds is a great album.
Pet Sounds is undeniably great.
However, I also don't know that Pet Sounds would go in my list above Sgt. Pepper's. Because they're tied together.
They're neck and neck, yeah. They're like...
Sgt. Pepper's was the response to Pet Sounds.
Right. I mean, you do one and then you do the other. I don't care which one comes before. You know?
Yeah.
But they're neck and neck.
All right. So, here's number 1. And I'm going to preface this by saying I love this album.
Okay.
I think it's a great album.
Okay.
I do not think it is the greatest album of all time.
Okay.
I think it is a great album.
Okay.
I have listened to it many times.
Okay.
Marvin Gaye's What's Going On.
The best album of all time?
All time.
No, it is a great album, but no. No.
It's a phenomenal album. I have listened to it front to back.
Yeah.
I have any songs on it I skip. Nothing. Best album of all time, though. Come on.
That's a stretch, man. That's a stretch. I don't know. I maybe we're showing our like Anglocentrism here. I don't know, but because we were fine with Pet Sounds and we were fine with we were kind of fine with Abbey Road. I was fine with Abbey Road.
No, I'm not fine with Abbey Road. Well, and I mean, I always have an issue every time they update this list anyway, because, and you know I like the Beatles and I like Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
They like the Beatles and Bob Dylan way more than anyone should like them.
Yeah. It's their favorite thing ever. Yeah. Yeah,
like Bob Dylan every single time has like 5 or 6 in the top 100.
Sure.
Like, come on. There's a lot of really good Bob Dylan albums.
Yeah. 6
of the top 100 albums ever. I don't think so.
That's a ton.
Let's bring it.
I mean, I love What's Going On. It's a great record.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's the greatest album ever made. I just don't see that.
I don't see the justification on any part of it. Like, everything about the album is really good and really solid.
Yeah, and it's relevant and all that. It's.
But that's kind of where it stops. Is everything is really good.
I don't know, and it. I don't know it. That's interesting. I have to say I am glad they didn't put a Led Zeppelin record.
No, I didn't see Led Zeppelin anywhere.
No.
In the like 60 whatever I made it through.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's I have a feeling that it's number one because Rolling Stone writers are mostly white dudes.
Yeah.
And they're like, we should put Marvin Gaye at number one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Trying to overcompensate. I don't.
Yeah. For the times that we're in, you mean, as well? Like that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Thriller. Okay, so Thriller clocks in at 12.
I mean, I would take Thriller over What's Going On.
I also would put Thriller above.
Yeah.
Again, if for no other reason than cultural significance.
I'd put Thriller in the top 10. I mean, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's scroll through this. Exile on Main Street is 14.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be there.
Public Enemy's at 15.
Public Enemy, what? Fear of a Black Planet or something? Or
It Takes a Nation of Millions.
It Takes a Nation, yeah. Okay.
London Calling at 16.
See, I love London Calling. I'd have to put that higher.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy at 17.
Okay, sure.
I think that's a fairly maybe high, but it's not that terrible of a rating for that album.
No, I mean, it's a really new. I mean, part of it too. You want to pick older albums because they've stood the test of time. Like,
yeah,
that record is still, still within the cultural consciousness right now, right?
This one surprised me, just because I don't expect any credit on this for some reason. It always surprises me when anyone gives him credit.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, was 19.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, sure.
It's shocking to me
that they got
it.
They
put him above Born to Run.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah. I mean, it is inherently difficult to do. A list like this is almost by design stupid.
It's stupid.
Because,
it's stupid.
I mean, you could do it.
Sgt. Pepper's, by the way, is 24. I finally found it. I forgot where it was at.
24. That's pretty low.
That's really low.
I mean, I know it's got that weird song about the horse on it, but come on, like A Day in the Life, dude. Come on, A Day in the Life. That's one of the most fantastic recordings ever made, in my opinion.
And in case you were curious, the White Album, 29. 29?
I could go lower on the White Album.
Oh, way lower. Way lower. That's over Miles Davis, Kind of Blue.
Oh, now see, that would have to be in my top
stupid.
10.
That's stupid.
Kind of Blue would be in my top 10, definitely. Thriller would be in my top 10. Kind of Blue would be my top 10. I'm great with Pet Sounds, Nevermind. Even though I love Nevermind, I'm more of a fan of some of their other stuff.
I don't think it's a top 10. Nothing against them. I don't think it's a top 10 album.
Yeah, I mean, top 20. It would have to be for me.
I could see top 20. Top 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if I were making this list, I'd have like 490 albums and then just 10 blank spots because I couldn't ever figure out who to put in the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just would keep going. I don't know. I don't think that's top 10.
I don't know what the greatest album ever made was. I mean, I don't know. Not that anyone's asking me anyway, but if I had to speculate.
No, I'm asking you. What is it?
What do I think the best record ever made was?
Yeah, of all time.
Of all time?
Yeah, and we're going to hold you to it. If you say the wrong one,
Okay.
everyone's going to be upset.
I would put Pet Sounds at 2.
Uh-huh.
Number 2. And I would put... it's going to be a Beatles record. I mean, this is not going to make you happy. I might put Abbey Road at number 1.
That's silly. You're being silly.
I might. And then... But Sgt. Pepper's would be in the top 5. Absolutely. For me.
Well, now you're sounding like you write for Rolling Stone.
Well, I do. 10 years ago.
You have 2 Beatles albums in the top 5. That's too much.
That's not too much. It's the Beatles. That's my argument. It's the Beatles.
That would be what the Rolling Stone writers would say. How do you feel about Taylor Swift being at 99 with Red?
I don't feel good about it.
No.
I don't feel good about it. Who was 500, just out of curiosity? Can you get to it quick enough?
Let's see.
Because I would love to be in that spot. I'd love to just be among.
just creep in.
Yeah, that would be fine with me. Like, the 500th best album ever made totally works for me.
500 was Arcade Fire.
Okay, which one? Neon
Funeral.
Bible?
Funeral.
Oh, Funeral. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Sure. Their records never blow my socks off. I like their records, but they never blow me away.
They're overrated.
Yeah, I would say they are. I would agree with you.
They, especially at some point when they started getting big,
Yeah.
they turned into that pretentious indie band.
Yeah.
You know, the one. There's always the one pretentious indie band that
For
you're like,
sure.
ugh. They did that, and I was out.
Where did they? Did Paul Simon's Graceland end up fairly reasonably high? I always thought that's a great record. I always liked that record.
I didn't see it in the top 50. We'll say that.
Oh, come on, Graceland! Come on, great record, amazing record. I mean, there's so much that I would want in there that I know would never make a Rolling Stone list. Like, I don't know, like Kraftwerk or something. Like, I'm sure they're on there somewhere, but probably higher for me.
They've got to be on there because 486 is John Mayer, and there's no reason that John Mayer makes the list and they don't.
That's true. Yeah, one changed music forever. The other,
The other one plays okay guitar. He's pretty good.
What about Radiohead records? I mean, I would expect those to be.
Oh, there's a lot of Radiohead.
Yeah.
They had 2. I don't remember the exact placement. Kid A, I think, was in the top 30.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah.
I would say OK Computer could make the top 10 for me. I love OK Computer. I mean, I love Kid A almost more, but I just know that OK Computer is probably a more significant record.
I think they had Kid A above OK Computer.
I mean, I like it better. I do think it's a better album. Not by much. I mean, we're splitting hairs, but I love Kid A. I'd put Kid A up there.
It's really, if you ever want to have a lot of time going, I forgot that album existed. Going to the bottom and starting from 500 is really interesting.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I'd love to see how this compares to like Pitchfork's list, for example.
Oh no.
You know?
Pitchfork. A Pitchfork top 500 list. Man, it's going to be a bunch of indie bands you've never heard of and are borderline unlistenable. It's going to be a bunch of them and Bon Iver. Like he somehow has 20 albums on the list, even though he's only put out 3.
Yeah, that sounds about right. About right.
They start throwing in live bootleg recordings of
Bon
people
Iver.
like that. Yeah.
You know, that one just had something special. I got one. I know it probably not for the Rolling Stone crowd so much, but Neutral Milk Hotel in the Airplane Over the Sea.
I'm sure that's on here somewhere.
Super high for me. That's a great record. Love that record.
That's gotta be. John Mayer's on here. I have to stress that. That has to be on here somewhere.
That to me is one of the best records ever made. It probably wouldn't make the top 10. It would probably be like top 15 though for me somewhere. If I was making my own list, right? Jen and I did this one time coming back from vacation, like last time we went on vacation last year, I guess. And that was a time filler. It was a really interesting conversation. We broke it down by albums. We broke it down by artists. And we broke it down. I think we broke it down by songs even. So, which is almost impossible to do. It's almost impossible to do songs.
Neutral Milk Hotel got in somewhere between 400 and 300. I just can't find them.
Come on. It's better than that. Come on. So good. Such a great record.
Well, it has to be next to Leonard Skinner, right?
Oh, no. Is it really?
No, it's probably higher than them.
I'm sure they're on there.
I haven't.
Yeah.
No, I just saw them.
Oh, they are. They're on there. Okay.
Oh, yeah. They have to be. There we go. They're 376.
Leonard Skinner or Neutral Milk Hotel?
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Okay.
In the Airplane Over the Sea.
It should be higher than that, in my opinion.
It's right below Dookie.
Oh, really? I mean, I like Dookie a lot. I love Dookie. But those just don't compare in my mind.
One spot below Dookie.
Wow.
3 spots below Isaac Hayes' Hot Buttered Soul.
That's a good record. Yeah.
That doesn't have any significance to what I'm saying. I just have always thought that was a hilarious name for an album.
It really is. It really is a great name for an album. Hot Buttered Soul.
Ooh, it's Hot Buttered Soul.
I've been having a reappraisal of one of the later Outkast records this week.
Which one?
Well, Speakerboxxx, Love Below. I've always liked Outkast. Great group. Super talented. Always different, right? Always doing their own thing. I had Stankonia growing up. Love that record. And I've probably heard all of them at some point, but I just remember not being hit by Speakerboxxx Love Below. Like, didn't hit me. But then I mostly listened to the Love Below part. I was hit by a lot of those songs, like Spread, Valentine's Day.
It's interesting that you have brought this up.
Okay.
Because I was just talking about this 2 days ago.
No.
Lecturing my wife on how great that album is.
Oh.
Specifically the Love Below side.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And this is the argument I will always make. That is a 100% genreless album.
That, you know what?
Is half of it. No genre.
You're so right. It encompasses so many things.
Most of it is closer to acid jazz than anything else.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. I heard a great interview too. Rick Rubin and Malcolm Gladwell are doing. I know that's a setup for a joke, but Rick Rubin and Malcolm Gladwell are doing a podcast.
Yeah,
doesn't that sound like a joke? Yeah. It's called Broken Record. And I mean, I don't think Malcolm Gladwell is always on it. The ones I've listened to have mostly been Rick Rubin talking to artists. And he did an interview with Andre 3000, like, I want to say it was a few months ago. And I just listened to it, and it was so good. First of all, he's such a sensitive and smart and thoughtful guy. Andre.
He is.
And but you could really tell that he is at a place at the moment where he's struggling creatively, and he just doesn't feel like he's there right now. And you think about someone like Rick Rubin, like that's been the story of his career, is taking people who were in a weird place, and making amazing records with them. Johnny Cash.
It's one of the main reasons Johnny Cash is still super relevant.
Yeah.
In culture.
Absolutely. So it was cool to listen to them, and a really great conversation just about like the creative process and how to stay in touch with yourself, when you're trying to make things. It was really good.
That is an album I would like to hear. I would like to hear Rick Rubin work with Andre 3000 and just let him do whatever weird thing he wants to do.
Anything. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be weird.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. He was talking about that song Prototype, which is on Love Below. And he wrote that, he said originally he had imagined like Janet Jackson or someone like that singing that song. And then as he worked on it, he was like, no, I've got to sing this. I have to do it.
Yeah.
But that's just cool. It's cool to think about someone like that thinking of writing for someone else, you know. And
yeah.
Do you have a favorite track on Love Below?
I don't know that I have a favorite. I don't know.
It's kind of.
I like Valentine's Day a lot.
Yeah, I do too. It's a great track. I like Spread a lot too.
Yeah, I was just, when I was talking about it, was marveling at the fact. Think about this with this album.
Yeah,
the two most radio friendly songs they could come up with from that half of that album.
Yeah.
were Hey Ya.
Yeah.
Which, when you think about it, is a weird song.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It's weird. It's like a retro pop tune, kind of.
And Roses.
Yeah.
Those are the only two that they're like, yeah, that'll play on the radio. Yeah. Everything else is just too.
Yeah. And Roses literally has poo, 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 poo as the refrain.
Yeah, those were the radio friendly, and it was very successful.
Yeah,
but you're not going to put Valentine's Day or Dracula's Wedding or
Dracula's Wedding. Right.
That's not gonna be on the radio.
No, Roses. That song, I have to admit that song kind of turned me off when I heard it on the radio because I just don't like talking about poop, and any song. That's probably partly why I avoided the record. I was like, I don't want to listen to songs about poo-poo. I don't like it.
I just feel bad for anyone named Caroline.
Oh, yeah. Caroline.
Because there are so many people that were named Caroline before that song came out.
Yeah.
And then the song came out, and now everyone at some point in their life is going to just sing Caroline at them.
Yeah. Caroline, just like that. Yeah.
And it's not a flattering song to you if you're Caroline.
It's really not.
It's very insulting.
Oh, hilarious. That's so good.
All right, so homework for next podcast.
Yes.
I need you to create your list of top 500 albums of all time.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Complete with 3-paragraph snippets about each album.
Sounds good. You're going to do it too, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We'll get right on that. Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife.
Also a good album. Or whatever.